Escape Gaming's turn to ban. Dire Team ban.
I should have seen that one coming.
Escape Gaming's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire Team pick.
Sand King.
Escape Gaming's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Admiral Concar.
Escape Gaming's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Mirana.
Dire Team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Shadow Demon.
Escape Gaming's turn to ban. Dire Team ban.
Hello everybody and welcome back into the World Cyber Arena 2016 Season 2 European Qualifiers. We are here with Kaipi versus Escape Gaming in a best of 5 series. And no, it is not the grand finals, it is in fact the upper bracket finals. The winner of this series will move on to the grand finals, and of course, we'll see who that's going to be as we move through this series. Escape Gaming now up 1-0. We'll wait and see who's going to come out on top. My name is Malt, with me is Purge. Purge, we thought that Kaipi had a pretty good chance at the late game, but Escape, they just obliterated them with, I think, Limp on that Drow Ranger, some really good itemization coming out. We talked about Era and his Slardar with the Shadow Blade. So, you know, Kaipi, they have to go back to a different well. They've got to try a couple of different heroes out here, it seems.
Yeah, they seem to be a very theory-crafty team, so I'm not too surprised to see them change it up a bit. I think they had a really good start to their game. Just the farm levels on Mirana didn't scale quite as well as their opponents did. Maybe part of the problem with sitting that much around Roche area led to that issue, but it had more impact out of Sing Sing. I think they could have won that game, and fights maybe could have gone better too, but as a whole, really good. It's going to be a close series. That's pretty clear from how Game 1 went.
Yeah, I would be shocked if it's a 3-0, but again, we've seen stranger things at different Dota tournaments, so that's something we'll have to keep our eye on as we do progress through the draft. But guys, do you know Dota? Do you feel like you want to be able to bet on Dota and, well, bet legally is the more important thing? If so, then check out betway.com, where you can use this banner code down below and of course get a free €5 bet. On top of that, we'd like to let you know that Betway is in fact, of course, a legally licensed gambling site, and those of you that are 18 years of age and older are eligible to play. Not only that, but of course, you have to be in a country, of course, in which betting and gambling is legal for you to play as well. So with that said, Escape Gaming, who would you bet in this game, Purge? Who would you go for in this particular game?
God, I don't know. For the whole best of 5, I have no idea actually.
Well, let's say not for the best of 5, but for the way that you see this draft going right now, and of course with the way that
Well, there are 2 picks. I don't know anything yet.
Come on, man.
It's too early.
I'm putting you on the spot here. Give me some.
Can't influence me in that way. I'm not. Is it even legal in America to gamble on Betway? I don't think it is. Is it? I think it's just like Canada, Germany, and +1 or something.
I'm not sure. That's a bit of a gray area.
I'm from Wisconsin. It's very similar to Canada in some ways. Gambling can be a thing to do. Cold in the winter. We're approaching winter. It's only August, so technically it's still deep into the summer, but it might be cold soon. Start practicing, guys.
All right.
Use those euros. I don't know if you can spend them in Canada or not, but your best.
I have absolutely no idea if you can, but I'm sure there's exchange rates. Bane picked up for Escape Gaming, Kunkka and Marana. Bane synergizes very well with both of these heroes, obviously with Arrow, and not only that, but Torrent as well. So lots of kind of bringing heroes back, keeping heroes in place, not necessarily stuns, but there are disables, and the one Marana stun, obviously, with the Arrow, which combined up with these 2 heroes should be just fine. I'm a fan.
I like Escape's lineup a lot right now, yeah. Look, they have so many different ways that they can land arrows. It's kind of similar to what Kaipi was doing in the previous game. In this game, though, Kaipi going for a different strat. The fact they have Shadow Demon now looks amazing. They needed it against Kunkka Marana. And this used to be one of the only ways that Shadow Demon got drafted, actually, was for defensive setups, that kind of stuff. Oh, they're going to do an X combo and you will disrupt you after the Torrent lands, save the boat damage. Same for Arrow. So I kind of like what Kaipi's working with. Also, Juggernaut is the perfect carry against that as well. Back in Zephyr, when we'd always pick Shadow Demon +1, like Shadow Demon plus Stunner follow-up, people would always pick Juggernaut against us, and every time it would happen, the first couple times I was like, oh, no big deal. But once I started experiencing and realizing that how harder that makes your job of trying to gank lanes, it changed everything, really. So Jug SD are a pretty good solution against this Bane Marana Kunkka thing. The problem is that if you do get the Bane sleep off, then kind of just screwed anyways if Shadow Demon's not in the area. But Jug's a good idea. It combos well with Shadow Demon. The illusions are very, very strong that you make. But Axe is going to pose a problem, at least in the laning stage for Juggernaut.
Why do you say that? What about Axe makes Juggernaut's life a little bit harder?
Well, Mott, he does pure damage when he spins, first of all. Jug is a melee hero, so laning against him can be a bit scary. With that said, though, if Jug gets spin off first, and at least he's also doing a lot of damage to Axe, that's the decent trade-off there. But at least in the laning stage, if they can get some setup on Jug, there is ways that they can pressure. It's kind of like I wouldn't necessarily say it's 50-50, but in some ways there's advantages for both sides. So, which is pretty good considering Jug is normally extremely good against any melee hero that is an offlaner. If Escape gets the right tri-lane going, or dual lane, or they get the right setups or good combos, then it can be really scary for Jug.
We'll wait and see how things transition into this last pick for Kaipi in this pick phase, and then we're into the last bans. Let's talk about the bans a little bit, because Huskar ban, you have a Meepo ban, so there's respect across the board, I feel like. Escape, I'm not sure how often they've run the Huskar. Going back to TI, I think they did a couple times, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, they did, in the wild card at the very least. I remember the games they won in the wild card, I think they were using I might be misremembering, and I might be thinking of another team, but I'm pretty sure Escape during the wild card was using the Huskar to their benefit to beat, I think it was Execration at the time.
Huskar against which hero?
Well, just the team Huskar against Execration.
Oh, okay.
In that last series. I think it was the last series. I believe
Yeah,
it
I
was.
don't know if we'll see a Huskar here, though. I mean, there's so many disables on Escape, plus they have Axe.
It was banned out, so I just wanted
okay.
to point out that it was banned, and Kaipi kind of just saying, okay, well, Escape's known for playing this, let's take it out of the pool.
Oh, that match. Okay, I understand. Yeah, it would have been decent, maybe. They definitely need some more damage output. They've got pretty good nukes on Escape, but it looks very similar to the problems that Kaipi had in the previous game, that their damage in the late game would be a little iffy. It's a pretty good pick, though. Very good against chain stuns, because you can always Ravage once the Kraken Shell procs. So if he's the one that gets gone on, very similar. Basically, if they can do what K was able to do with Timbersaw in the last game, it'd be great. He takes the nukes, he casts Ravage, and then there should be some follow-up from his team to hopefully get kills. For example, if Tide gets initiated on, throw the stuns out, then Sand King channels Epicenter in the backline. As the Ravage comes through, they could just wipe fights. Pretty interesting draft, but three melees right now against Axel iffy.
Yeah,
Not the
that's
best
a bit
nuke
sketchy.
either, so
Yeah.
could be an amazing Axe game.
5 seconds remaining.
I feel like this axe can absolutely just tear asunder Kaipi's lineup,
Dire
but
team ban.
I mean, I'm going back to TI6 a lot, and I do want to pose a question to you. Do you remember any
Please.
big Tide Hunter games?
Remember any big Tide Hunter games? Are you
Yeah,
saying
at
that Tide wasn't
TI6.
picked much at TI6?
I feel like he was picked
10
occasionally, but
seconds
not.
remaining.
And
Yeah.
maybe again, I'm misremembering.
My impression too. I mean, I can pull up stats or something, but I definitely agree. I think he got a little unplayed there. It was really about Timber stall. Let's be real. If you wanted offlane here, Timber was a lot more prioritized.
Yeah.
Bat was picked a crap load. Remember that as well. So
Yep.
look, heroes that just seemed to be higher priority.
I mean, Tide Hunter was maybe picked during the group stages a fair bit. I remember a couple of group stage games, but when it came to the main event, I felt like he just kind of fell off. And I'm willing to see stats from whoever that prove me otherwise. But you go back to Manila, and there were a couple of good Tide Hunter games there.
Yeah, there definitely were.
Very solid. And not just talking about Fnatic in Ohio and his Tide Hunter games, but just in general, all the teams, a lot of Tide Hunter games there.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun hero to watch. It's kind of weak against Drow Rangers, probably another reason why he hasn't been picked that much, just because the Drow damage is so strong. Luna's a good pickup though. Kaipi has really strong team fight right now between Ravage, Disruption, Jug Spin, Omni Slash, and Sand King. Like every single one of their heroes should be very strong in a team fight.
This is a level 6, so it's a mid-jug, I would imagine, and the Luna's going to be played at the safe lane. You have Lunar Blessing to help the jug amp the damage up. You have the Shadow Demon for the illusion with the Luna. And this is all before, we talk about the level 6 abilities, which you were talking about. Meanwhile,
Ooh.
Troll is picked up for Escape Gaming.
Oh, I can't wait to see this. I'm excited to see it build. That's the thing I'm most curious about Troll. There's so many items that look on paper like they're great for him, like Dragonlance, Echo Saber, but I haven't seen a build that works, so I'm hoping that Era does a cool new build that I haven't seen before. He may still go Phase Boots, Aquila, SNY into like Scotty and make me bored, but not bored. I'm still happy to see Troll, but definitely a very interesting pick. Pretty good against Luna actually, and good against Jug too. Two heroes that are quite tanky by a lot of hybrid stat items. Troll usually beats those heroes in 1v1s, although Tide is going to be a huge problem. Landing Anchor Smash on Troll is going to offset a huge amount of his damage, so could be a very interesting game.
Although
Troll also might suck. He's gonna have to BKB.
I think if you go for range, the range damage and the melee damage are not changed, anymore. Like
Correct.
The melee damage is gone. The melee bonus damage from Berserker's Rage. So we've seen a lot of heroes just go for the ranged, although you don't have the benefit of being able to walk up in CS using your right click with just melee.
Yeah, and it's not just that, it's also that 6 bonus armor when you go to melee range, and you get a lower base attack time plus the bashes. So somebody wrote in my chat yesterday when I was talking about, actually, apparently when you get Echo Saber, if you throw a ranged troll attack but then you switch to melee before it, you actually do get the slow, which might make it work. Probably not. I want that build to work so bad, but I feel like it doesn't. I feel like SNY is just so much better.
That seems like a gimmick that is like more difficult than it is just like.
No, I mean you can definitely get the slow off. That part's not difficult, but the problem is you're not getting the double hit because you're ranged. Well, you would technically be melee, but you'd be far away. I don't know. I'd have to try it out, but I have a feeling it sucks. Just so much better to get SNY.
Early invasion, the smoke into the jungle. Will they find anybody? It's going to be Bambo, when he sees it immediately, calls it out. They'll get out. No casualties. Very good positioning by Bambo to make sure he blows up that smoke of deceit gang. And
this team is next level, honestly. Like the way that they did that was so perfect. Had one hero behind the tree, had the other hero who's magic immune but visible. And go magic immune, that is, but is visible. He's the one that lets the visual break smoke. And then if needed, the Sand King could have burrow striked away. They did that very perfectly, and that's gonna break a smoke. They knew that their opponents were likely to aggro try, so really nicely done. Both wards dedicated there, and it looks like Kaipi is then gonna just completely dodge. The trial lane goes to the safe lane. They're 1v1s. Tide can be safe lane. Maybe he dies a little bit, but whatever. And then on the mid, it's Jug. And this is gonna completely screw up what Escape wants to do. They want to get ganks. They want to put pressure on. But if the mid hero is a Jug and he's difficult to kill because of spin, everything gets a lot harder.
This is it's gonna be interesting. You can already see Kezu. He wanted to have a good time. He's ready to get one shadow poison for his trouble. They're actually trying to keep him back at the tier 2 tower for now.
So smart, because if he gets to a creep wave and is able to pull it, he can easily kill it solo. But if they just prevent him from getting near their creeps, then they stop everything. There's actually nothing they can do then. But now it's going to limit their experience a little bit, but the important thing is keeping Axe as under-leveled as possible. That way, when Luna has a big advantage, she can just solo against him. And then the supports can do whatever they want on the map. But it's a typical offlane thing. But if the offlane's able to get a lot of experience, then it makes him a lot more effective in terms of the early game, and it makes it harder for the supports to do whatever they feel like.
This is, I mean, you see it now. Kezu has to start in the offlane and just try to, or not offlane, excuse me, jungle, and try to find whatever he can. And this is without an Iron Town because he wasn't expecting this type of aggressive lineup coming through.
That's not bad for him to jungle, though. I mean, the supports are also getting decent things done on Kaipi. They did a stack there on the small camp, then they farmed it together. They do have to be careful about the stacks, so they can be cleared so easily by Axe if he's ahead.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he can get to that point, but YapzOr, again, he's going to have to come up big with these torrents early on into this game. He's not been scouted yet, I don't believe, but Sing Sing should see him coming soon. I mean, if he remembers how last game went, although it was going 7 in the mid on the Tinker. Bambo will get vision. He's going to walk up. Bambo can burrow strike away. Burrow strike into YapzOr if he wants to as well. Then walk away, but it looks like he'll just skitter around down towards that bottom rune spot. Torrent.
Who's gonna
he still gets it. Wow. That burrow strike lasts longer than the torrent at level 1, so.
Oh yeah, the burrow strike stun duration is great. It's 2.17 seconds versus the 1.6, I believe, of torrent.
Yes,
both decent
and
stuns.
neither of them scale, so.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, actually. Bit of a difference. Downside is Bambo doesn't have mana, but he'll probably just sap Kezu. This is actually really effective, especially because Kezu's still level 1. We'll get 2 off of this large camp, but just contesting the experience is huge. I wonder if he tries to steal this. Oh, he does.
Oh, Kezu's not happy. That's frustrating.
You can see the smile on Bambo's face right now. I know what it looks like.
I hope so. You guys play together for.
He just emotes. He has so many emotions. I'm saying emotes not as like he says cap or anything, but he shows so much emotion when he plays games that when I see him do anything in a pro game now, I just know what he's thinking or looking like or saying. And even if it's not completely accurate, it just makes watching him so much more fun.
The Bambo Whisperer Purge. Meanwhile, YapzOr in the bottom lane. Shadow Poison. They've got the Battle Hunter up.
Kill them.
There's going to be the illusions coming out. That's the disruption. Kezu needs to back up. Torrent's going to come through. Whiff completely. 2 Shadow Poison stacks on both. Arrow's going to come through with that almost hit. While I die. That would have been a nice nifty pickup and to get them the first blood. But unfortunately, that's not going to be accomplished. As Bambo will go ahead and deny himself. A very good start, I feel like, for Kaipi.
Neutral double kills. Oh, Neutral's so strong, dude. It's going okay for Kaipi there. If they had
winning.
Sing Sing almost dying here.
Oh my, is he still in trouble? He doesn't have Blade Fury. That arrow hit, he would have died, but the arrow just missed barely to the left, I believe.
Yeah, that was very close. But so Sing Sing stays alive. It's gonna get a little pressured here. If he can get the rune, he's in a good spot, but he can't. They're gonna contest this. Bambo will cover him bottom, but that's gonna be a little bit wasteful for experience, but he's actually having quite a bit of trouble mid. He's up to 19 now. It's been fine since Limp has been moving around the map a bit, but that first couple of laning stages didn't go super well. Oh, Sinner in trouble now. Great sleep there. Yeah, this is the only way they kill.
Disruption. Yeah, this should be a kill coming out. They're going to try to block him. He misses the block, but the burrow strike comes in, and bo5 gets the kill with the Lucent Beam. And to be
perfectly done by them. They had Cinderin did well as well. He had a Nightmare or Pilot Eye, the one hero with the disable left, 2 could stack Shadow. His bo5 made the right choice also. Oh, this should be a dead Kezu.
He's got 1 poison in the shadows. Oh, he even gets the Soul Catcher off as well. The burrow strike comes through. And that should be the kill. Yeah, it's the Sandstorm. Torrent will hit up. The arrow comes through, and it's gonna barely miss. I almost thought it was gonna clip Pilot Eye. Good defensive disruption, but I don't know how long he can survive. Not much longer. Finally escape, get on the board. And it just seems like this game is not, it's kind of the opposite, I feel like, of the last game. I don't remember Escape getting off to a bad start. I felt like they were doing fine in the early stages of this game in game 1, but in game number 2, I feel like they're missing out on a lot of, it's still pretty close, but.
You know, the big thing actually is that Tidehunter is doing pretty much whatever he wants here. He's level 5 right now. He's got 20 CS compared to the 23 of Axe. Except Axes died once and pressured way hard. He's only level 3. Kaipi's doing way far better this game. They've really outlaned Escape in the laning stage. They're clearly better at laning, or at least it's just this game. But I feel like the similar thing happened last game as well.
Yeah, this laning setup coming out from Kaipi has been solid. And after everyone is rotated down by Escape to this bottom lane, they move everyone else around for Kaipi. So it's just kind of like, well, what's the point, man? I don't, they're trying to find whatever they can, but
they're being so efficient. Like even bo5 walking to a large camp here, he's gonna possibly contest rune, maybe get a kill. Oh, if he could kill Limp, this would be so big.
Eclipse, what a lead.
A little sloppy.
The Lucent Beam was about to come out. Now the
now
arrow,
he's fed.
bo5 might get turned on, but he does have the range drop. The torrent will come up. They've got the defensive disruption if they need it, and it's perfectly timed, but he's got to have leap here, and he doesn't. They have the Tideburger coming out from Yapsor. That will provide the kill. It's very close, but
that's disruption, man. If you can't use it to basically disjoint damage that was going to hit them, then it can be wasteful. bo5 also made the mistake he basically made is he needed to be closer to Potom. That way the first beam hit at the same time as the first Lucent beam.
Right.
Because once he casted the Eclipse and it wasn't in range yet, then it let Limp realize what was happening. So if he started a little closer to the Potom when he did that, he might have been able to get a triple beam off basically before Limp leaps. But he missed the first beam and it made things a little too hard. Also, if the disruption wasn't able to stop like the torrent stun and damage fall up, then he wasn't going to live, because disrupting when somebody's about to die from damage, it doesn't do anything, especially when you have no escape.
Yep.
So that was pretty costly actually. He could have maybe just farmed the jungle instead. I like that he went for the Eclipse, but the fact that everyone on escape was there, that actually set Kaipi quite behind with that death.
Yeah, that's your safe lane farmer. Well, in this sense, he was in the off lane for a period of time, but your safe lane farmer going down, Limp is going to get Blade Fury, but he can leap away at any time. Sing Sing's trying to force out that leap, I believe.
And the big thing really was the fact that they got experience on their supports. They had a really rough laning stage. They went aggressively tri-lane. They didn't kill the Tidehunter. They hadn't gotten very many kills. And now they kill a level 6 carry on the enemy team who has a pretty good amount of farm. The gold maybe wasn't massive, but the levels are huge when you haven't had control of your safe lane tri-lane and able to pull a lot. Makes a big difference.
I feel like this is going to come down to Era, and he's farming well, but I'm every single troll game I've seen since I don't know how long it's been. It's just not been good, and they even have the Moonlight Shadow spotted by an Observer Ward and Sentry combination. So this Moonlight Shadow, I don't know what they're trying to accomplish with it, but it looks to be nothing.
Just looking for a kill. It was really smart to do that. They just said, okay, we got a rune coming up. We'll see if they happen to walk down there. Maybe we'll get a free kill. Because, the 8-minute Potom ults usually aren't that useful. Just the fact alone that they could get a game-winning rune with that is pretty cool. Bam, we're going to take some damage.
Yeah, the torrent comes out the Tidebringer as well, but Bambo needs to leave. X Marks is going to go. He's alone. He's got 2 seconds for Tidebringer. The torrent not going to be there in time. Over the Tidebringer continues to do some serious damage. He's up in 5 seconds. Burrow Strike is there. Bambo's playing too aggressively.
And he
get there in time for the Tidebringer. He's got torrent as well, and he's going to use it, and he will narrowly juke it. X Marks on cooldown. Bambo's going to go ahead, deny himself, and he gets it done. Oh my god.
Dude, that's the most Bambo play I've seen in my whole fucking life, dude. Like, okay, he got the neutrals. Ravage bottom. Troll's dead.
Yeah, they killed Troll with the Ravage and Eclipse being used.
That's why Troll's bad right there, because he just dies to nukes. And maybe not necessarily bad, but it's a huge glaring weakness. He doesn't have a disable of his own that's a stun. So as soon as you throw a bunch of nukes on somebody, he's just an awful hero. And that's what happens. Until he gets BKB, he has this big window where he's got Morbid Mask, Phase Boots, Aquila. He does a ton of damage, but only when he's not in the face of disables and magic nukes. Very similar to PA in a lot of ways.
Oh, that was maybe not the TP send. They're going to TP more in if he can get some help before dying. Sin's below, he's got a brain tap and stay alive. Air will come through, but it's a 4 versus 2 at this point. Demonic Purge escape. It looks like they're on not maybe the same signal here. It looks like Sing Sing. He will get called, though. Might be able to bring him down. Calling blade. There it is. Finally, they turn it around. 1-for-1 trade. That's most definitely worth it for the Synderen kill. However, they did lose the tower on top of all of that, which was destroyed by the Shadow Demon. So it is going to be the full gold going for Kaipi.
Are we talking about Bambo plays now?
Yes.
So keep in mind what he did there. He could have left. He came back to kill the 2 large creeps with his Burrow Strike, and then he didn't have enough mana for Sandstorm. Yapsor very, very closely didn't kill him. It was really close. And then Bambo denied himself the neutral. So he got like 150 gold killing those 2 neutrals, then denied himself and lost 200 gold because he died to neutrals. That's literally what happened there. It wasn't even worth it. It wasted Yapzor's time. That was the best thing he did, which I find super funny because him and Yapzor are actually friends. So I almost wonder if he went in and did that shit all because he knew it was Yapzor. Like, I feel like that's a Bambo thing. Even if it's a pro game and there's money at stake.
Again,
Purge like that, man.
Purge is the Bambo whisperer. He knows better than anybody what Bambo is like, I feel like, in these games.
Huge deny from Marana just now, by the way.
I want you to, like, ask Bambo about, like, all of this stuff after the games are over, and I just want to, like... I want to get the inside scoop.
Yeah, what is that okay? Like I sent him a message after game 1. I was like, maybe I just shouldn't message him. It's like a best of 5, you know. This is like a big deal. So like wait, like maybe he's got shit to do. Maybe he's talking to his team, you know. Like I'm gonna wait until after the series, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, that's polite of you. I wouldn't do that though. I would message him immediately. Hey man,
what was up with that huge mistake, Abe? Tell me about that.
Yeah, let me know. So we can talk about it further before your next game starts.
I mean, he's almost got blink regardless. Like, this is literally the essence of Bambo. He does crazy shit, and it completely works because he keeps denying neutrals. He's actually so good at denying neutrals. It was one of his biggest accomplishments. Oh, he's gonna die here. He's so close to blink though. Oh.
Yep, Fiend's Grip, arrow can come at any time. Rough. There it is. Starstorm, dead, Bambo, and he doesn't lose that much gold, all things considered.
Oh, come on, dude. He was 100 away from blink there. Like, yeah, you're right. He didn't lose that much, but. That's still rough. He could have had like a 12-minute blink dagger. He just had to kill one more neutral.
12-minute and maybe 13-minute blink dagger, so 1 minute delayed, I'd say.
And not even that. He's dead for 20 seconds, and he was already on the map. So he not only does he have to respawn, but he also has to go somewhere to set up a gank. He could have finished that neutral, flown out like a smoke, blink dagger, and a clarity, and then immediately go mid. He could have a gank mid in like 20 seconds or something. Courier wasn't in use, but now it's much delayed.
Alright, here we go. bo5 starting to invade the enemy jungle with 3 nearby on the Tidehunter. Okay, for Limp, the Lucent Beam will go, mana for Leap, but the Burrow Strike comes in. Do they have any follow-up? The Leap's up and away, up to the... They have the wraparound, though. Here comes Sig Sig, the Omni Slash, the Blade Fury. He wants Limp. Limp's pretty speedy, but he will go down. It's going to be Pylai dying, Jug getting the last hit. The Yapzor is going to be next. They'll find 2. And Kaipi looking very solid in the second game, Purge.
Yeah, and now we're really seeing the weaknesses of Troll as well. Really good initiation. I didn't think that they were going to be able to kill Marana there because she had the regen, but Sing Sing was able to wrap around from the backside in the meantime. And just a little bit of spin damage and great positioning. They get a kill and a tier 1 tower. Completely uncontested with 2 kills. Really nicely done by Kaipi.
So for now, one
is under attack.
Situating towards mid. 7 with the Ogre Club, and well, the Tidehunter now building up towards the mech, so they're getting closer and closer to these big items.
This looks really bad for Escape. I'm just looking at Troll right now. He just finishes his Helmet the Dominator, but this game is already too early game. Like, Troll takes too long to get online to be effective is the issue here, and Helmet the Dominator just makes it worse. In some ways, it's better just to go Mask of Death to have that lifesteal ready. In some ways, an item build that might be better on him is something like a Vanguard. That's what I advocate for on PA at least. Oh, he gets a kill on Pylai. Nice kill by Limp. That's really needed. Any solo kills they can get are huge. But he basically needs an item that gives him sustain in the jungle and something that gives him HP, which is kind of more Vanguard-y. But the problem with Troll versus PA is you can't upgrade to Abyssal, so Vanguard's kind of bad as well. It's just the Troll item problems are not quite solved yet. I think that's why the hero is weak right now. Other than the fact that early game is so important.
Which goes back to the point of why they picked it in the first place. You know, there were theoretically good matchups for Troll potentially in this game, but there's other safe lane carries that you can go for, or whatever carries, positions, whatever you want to call them.
I mean, it gives them a lot of physical damage. That's cool and all, but it's not like they have the most physical right-click carries ever, either. Marana and Axe, I guess
right, I was going to make that point during the draft. I was like, all right, well, you have Battle Trance, but the only person that's going to be really gaining any damage from that is going to be Era. And by the way, while this is all happening top lane, you can see Roshan is being taken by Dire Team, KP, IP. They have the Dragon Lance on bo5. Sing Sing is up to phase Drum at 1700 gold, so he's clearly dedicated to early fighting. And with the mech as well, and a Blink Dagger on Sand King. Now with an Aegis, they can take a fight and without any issue whatsoever, and you can see it. Limp's already going to back away with a leap, but the rest of the squad is immediately hightailing it out of
That was
there.
interesting. They got really scared about Bone7 showing up there. Us looking at this, it looked really clear, but Escape was genuinely concerned that the team was already set up there. In reality, that was just a huge bluff with a gamble on the Aegis there. Kind of cool that that worked out. I guess either way, Clips eventually killed somebody. But yeah, Escape got real scared, and Kaipi is going to lose almost nothing from that aggressive maneuver.
Middle tower is under attack.
Where are we going to go here for Escape? That's the question. Where are they going to make their move? They have to wait for the Aghanim Scepter for Limp. That might be that big turnaround item that we've talked about time and time again.
Well, they wanted to kill somebody here. If they can find somebody farming, it'd be perfect, but Bone7 doing the safe thing, just sitting
And
next
he
to
has
his tower.
Aegis too, so as soon as they go on him, TPs will come en masse, and they'll have
Yeah.
5-on-5 at that point.
And it's nighttime. It's daytime now. Now Escape can actually go in. They can actually see things, but at nighttime, he easily has the vision advantage. But now that they see
they're
that
on
Luna's here
the
by
edge.
herself,
Oh, they see Bone7
easy
now.
now.
They're going to go for him. Blink call, they'll find it. Here comes the TPs. Remember, he's got Aegis. Can they bring him down once, let alone twice? It looks like the answer to that question is no. Of course, TP's coming in. Ravage is still available, but there's the Blink. There's going to be at least the Burrow Strike. And now Kazu's going to look for a call. Can he get a counter Helix proc? No. Great disruption coming out from Pylon Die, making sure no counter Helix procs are had. That'll be that.
It was nicely done. I thought that Kaipi was making a huge mistake there, but with the support TPs, yeah, easily covered and didn't even lose Aegis there.
Dire's middle tower
Oh,
is under
Bambo.
attack.
Give me that
Those
bounty rune.
Very interesting that he hasn't gone any Caustic, by the way, because most Sand Kings, especially support Sand Kings, have always been prioritizing Caustic Finale, but Bambo's still on the Sandstorm train.
It's worked out, I guess.
I mean, he doesn't have the best. I would say one big thing is that there aren't a lot of heroes that he can just easily right-click chase. Like Bane, for example, if he's trying to kill Bane, Bane will just sleep him. There's no point to get Caustic to chase him that way. I mean, I'd maybe prioritize one skill point in it, just because it can apply as slow, which is useful, but it's just kind of cool to see. I don't blame him for not getting one skill point, though. Just really difficult heroes to chase. Same goes for Troll, Axe, Kunkka even. Just safer to get Sandstorm.
All right, what do we got here? 2,000 net worth advantage for Kaipi. Not that much. 2,000 experience advantage. But again, the problem is that you're fighting into a Luna and a... Well, hold that thought. Ghost Ship's going to come through, and looks like they're going to not find anybody. Cinderin has to use a Nightmare to try to get away, but here's Bambo. He's got Burrow Strike in one. And well, they'll walk right through. Cinderin about to get burrowed, it looks like. Although Cinder is very speedy. Blink forward, block through, Burrow Strike, Blade Fury getting the kill, and an Ancient stack to contest. Although no Butterfly from the Juggernaut, they can still do it with the Tidehunter if they need to.
Yeah, Cinderin getting a little way too overeager there, trying to fight and kill on a Bambo doing crazy thing. But you know, that's what he does. He gets in your head. He does things that seem so stupid sometimes, but they're actually very smart. So the times like these where he's actually backed up by his team, you don't always know if they're there or not, just because he's so unpredictable. That kind of playstyle actually adds a massive amount. It's like the drunken fighting style thing or whatever.
Yeah.
I know nothing about it, but my theory craft about it is that you look drunk, so you fight him less seriously, and then he might just own you.
I don't know
That's
if
how
that's
Bambo
the
plays
tenets
Dota. But that's how
of
Bambo plays Dota.
the Drunken Fighter. I can't
Kind
remember
of.
the exact name of the style that it is, but it
Yeah,
is a real
it's
thing,
in
by
like
the way.
every video game, you know what I mean?
It is also a real thing, by the way.
Dire's top tower is under
If you're
attack.
interested in the drunken fighting style, guys, check it out on YouTube
Bambo. Watch Bambo's Dota game.
or watch Bambo's Dota games.
Helm of the Dominator for Luna picked a very interesting build here.
Dire's top tower
That
is
yeah,
under
doesn't
wonder
that
why he's
signify
getting that.
more late game type of oriented draft or?
I mean slightly. I'm mostly just curious what item build he goes, but it's actually a pretty good Satanic game if you look at the lineup for Escape. Once he gets through the whole like chain stunning phase, he should be able to just late game buy a Satanic and just easily match the Axe. Axe would become no issue, and even Troll Warlord might be less of a problem. Kind of interesting. It's very farm heavy, basically. You're right. It is kind of late game in that sense. Oh, Manta next, just to be able to beat the Troll Blind, and then he's more or less set. As long as he doesn't get too much solo, his team should back him up, though.
I mean, I feel like he could have gone Manta first. I mean, I guess the Helm of the Dominator does provide some nice stats to a certain extent. Not, you know.
It allows him to farm Ancients is the big thing, really. Without lifesteal, it's cool.
All right, here's the Aghanim Scepter for Limp, and this is where it gets a bit tricky for Kaipi. If they can survive in the next couple of minutes without giving too many too much in terms of kills away. The thing is, I don't think that's going to happen. Kaipi have such a good team fight lineup, like Burrow Strike, Ravage to reset the fight. They have Mech. They have the Disruption. I mean, it's so hard for Escape to find any real target if Kaipi are grouped up. And now there's a Blink Taker on the Tide Hunter as well.
Yeah, he's actually insanely farmed this game. He's having a great game. 2-0 3. Your Mech Arcane at 20 minutes. That's great. Sing Sing's farming pretty well also. He's going for Manta style, very similar to what Luna's prioritizing now. The difference is he didn't go Battle Fury this game, but I don't think that's weird at all. In early game lineups, Battle Furies really delays your effectiveness. Sing Sing trying to deny there, but Limp's damage is just a little too much. He might get caught here actually. This is really dangerous. Didn't have vision. If that was daytime, he would have died there, almost for sure.
What do you think about the Kezu choice for the Axe BKB?
Kill top.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Bamboo finally getting the kill on Yaxor.
I think it's pretty needed, because if he initiates on people, there will be a Ravage. There's going to be an Epicenter too.
Oh, Bamboo, they have the Ravage ready to go. Is 3-3 going to pop it? No, it's on cooldown. He used it already up in that top lane. 3-3's in trouble. I know going too deep already. They've already lost Bamboo. He's going to try to deny himself. He uses the mech, but now here comes the reinforcement. Sing Sing, the blink out. They'll make it away in time. Do they want to turn this? Blink call is ready in 6. It's a little too far. They have to keep running. Sing Sing. Shadow Poison continuing to put it on cooldown.
Too bad he doesn't have his Yasha, actually. If he had his Yasha, he could definitely chase. He would have had a lot more
Shadow, they're going to try to turn this. Did they see the Moonlight Shadow is the question. Sentry's there. They know they're coming. There's the Eclipse. Aaron's caught. He's going to try to go to work, but it's not going to be enough. Good disruption as well. Omni Slash clears out a creep wave and the Axe. And that's going to be the end of the engagement. And it's just, they had a 2-for-0. They could have backed. They could have gotten away. They tried to turn. A great Sentry Ward placed down means they can't follow up.
You know what? I had a really tough time playing against Invis Heroes yesterday when I streamed, and that I really enjoyed that Sentry Ward from Pilot Eye, but also made me very sad remembering what happened yesterday. Like every single game, Ricky would smoke cloud and he would just walk away, and I'm like, okay, somebody could have a Sentry. I'm just salty.
What were you playing?
It didn't matter. Every game there was an Invis Hero. I'm reaching my Sentries. So it was just, that's how beautiful it was what Pilot Eye did there. They completely anticipated that, and they felt very comfortable going for that 3v4 sort of engagement, even though they didn't have Ravage, just because Eclipse and Omni Slash and Shadow Demon combo with that is so strong. It was really well done. They were able to turn that so well.
That was an impressive turnaround. It just all comes down to that vision, having the abilities up, and knowing what's coming from Escape.
Yep, and they know that Escape doesn't have a lot of summons, so Eclipse is always going to be strong, at least pre-BKB. And that's another cool thing about what they're doing. They're actually utilizing their spells when they're useful. If they just sat back and farmed for a super long time, then eventually Escape gets BKBs and they start taking fights, and then it becomes really difficult for Kaipi to win fights. But they started doing fights, and they're putting themselves in these kind of engagements and making stuff happen before Escape is able to finish those BKBs and get that. Axe just died, and he was like less than 500 gold probably away from his BKB being finished. And then that timing doesn't get exploited as well as it could have been.
Alright, Burrow Strike, they're going to find Arrow yet again, and he can't afford to die really, and he is going to go down. Blade Fury, fast. He is very fast, but they should still find him. Battle Trance will go right before he dies as they're chasing elsewhere. Ghost Ship, they're going to find Bo5. He's going to pop the Manta. He should still be able to survive. They've got the Fiend's Grip. They want to get a call. They want to get a dunk, but they just can't, as at this point they're being bodyguarded too well. Nightmare and Cinderin trying to stay alive, unfortunately not able to do so. Sing Sing finds the double kill, and they are just running over Escape at every opportunity. I can't... Well, last time they've got a couple of kills. The Axe did get the Tide Hunter, and as well as, of course, the Sand King going down to limp on the Mirana, but they're pushing high ground at 24 minutes in, and Kaipi want to assert their dominance. This advantage of almost 7,500. Great Starstorm doing a lot of work there. Still, though...
They got a Force Mech. That's a decent opening here that they landed that arrow. Sing Sing does get the spin off. He will siege high ground. They might have to back now. Everybody's alive. Oh, Bambo's gonna get nailed.
Bambo walked into that arrow. Here comes the Ghost Ship.
Bo5
might be in trouble. He gets blown up the Ravage, though. Starting things off. Burrow Strike, but where's the follow-up damage? They no longer have the Luna. It's time to retreat. Bambo will go down. Starstorm, that's more than enough damage. They have the X-Mark. They'll bring back 3-3. Is this the turnaround? It looks like it is. 3 dead on the side of Kaipi, and Arrow will walk straight down mid, trying to find whatever he can here in terms of CS, maybe in terms of objectives. But that's all it takes. One positioning error from a Luna.
And it wasn't just Luna. It was a positioning error kind of forced by Shadow Demon there. That was really on Pile Die. Like it felt like Kaipi wanted to back off. He disrupted one more time for the Luna, and they were able to follow up and initiate. And when you start trying to do illusion spamming, you lose your important ability. It's the disruption. If they had disruption for that boat combo, Luna wouldn't have died in the first place. So if you do disruptions to push, you can't cast it when they're that close to the front, especially not against a punishing lineup like Escape. Those 3 deaths are really going to cost Kaipi. They could have gotten map control and then easily taken Roshan immediately after that, and instead the game has been evened up entirely. Map control is even right now due to those 3 heroes dying.
Yeah, they're gonna, at the very least, I think, Escape will be able to drag this game out a little bit longer, if not be able to take the game altogether. It's saying a little. That's a little early to say that. I know, but you know, fights like that, they can turn things on a dime here, and anything can happen in the next couple of moments. But looking at the graph, it's a 5,000 net worth lead going down to about 4,000 to 3,000. It hits a torrent onto Sing Sing mid. He'll back away. Itemization-wise, you have a couple of big items coming out. Yapsor picked up a headdress alongside almost a Vlad's recipe. The armlet is done for him. Era has BKB Yasha, still lacking on some damage. Kezu has BKB
No Ravage,
Blink.
by the way. If the fight happens right now, they won't have Ravage.
How long is it on cooldown for? 41 seconds. Plenty of time.
Pretty long.
They're going to walk up. Here we go. Do they see them?
Oh,
Blink
what a call.
It's on a 2. No Sing Sing. The torrent's going to come up, though. The Ghost Ship should fall. Great defensive disruption, but Sing Sing in trouble. The Omni Slash will go through, and bo5 and Sing Sing, it's their job. They've got the Coin play, but the Axe doesn't chase Sing Sing down. Now, they turn their attention to Bambo. Fiend's grip is up. He will get brought back, and he's in trouble with the loose beams. They get the Eclipse off. It's a 2 for 2, and they lose Era. Highlight Eye going to work the disruption on Lip now. He's caught. He's got Starstorm, but the Lucid Beam will clean him up. And finally, Kaipi turn it right around and heads directly into Roshan.
Absolutely perfect clutch team prep from Kaipi, considering they didn't have Ravage there and Tide died right at the start. It all came down to the disruption on Luna that bought him time to get out using Manta style. Eventually the BKBs were wearing down, and that was when Bambo came in from the backline, landed his full epicenter on 4 heroes with Burrow Strike. He died for this, but the important thing is it got everybody low enough that bo5 could reinitiate using Eclipse and just cleaning up the fight. So amazingly played fight from Kaipi there. Nicely played from Escape as well, but Kaipi really did everything they needed to perfectly to win a fight, despite those dire circumstances.
Now it's with that Aegis, where do you go from here, Purge? Do you want to continue to farm a little bit further? I feel like they have everything they need. They just have to wait for a couple more abilities to come off cooldown.
Then they're good. Yeah, I mean, they can just grab Tide and take they can kill 2 heroes. They don't have to take a full team fight, you know? There's always that possibility, especially with Roche being down. If they don't have their team fight ultimates, it's actually not that big of a deal. Oh, Pai's gonna get himself killed here. Big mistake. He got X'd. He will disrupt himself. Alright, he's fine. He just has to anticipate when the X will come through. As long as he disrupts after 1.5 seconds, he won't get thrown back. So he's just trying to create space here and make them feel uneasy and think that everybody on Kaipi is in that area. In the meantime, everyone's farming. You know, it's crazy to look at this game and think about how fearsome Kaipi actually is as a team. I don't remember who their other support is normally, but Pile Die is literally doing major work on this team. As is Bambo as well. I feel like those 2 supports together, the amount of space that they create is actually insane.
Now you're gonna make me look this up at some point.
No, but like look at the game though. Like Kaipi is honestly this roster right here that's playing right now is playing extremely well. Like there's some small mistakes here and there are maybe some failings in a couple of small places, but like even game 1 they played it really well. Like these guys know Dota. It's very clear.
They've been playing for a while. A lot of these people have been playing together for ages. Sing Sing, Bambo, and bo5. Like these are some, well, at least Sing Sing and bo5. Pile Die on top of that as well, you know. Bambo has been with him off and on over the course of the past couple of years, so.
Now they get to do some abusive illusion pushing. I'm glad they split these. I feel like not enough teams do this. If you spread the illusions out, they don't die as rapidly. You get a bit more damage.
I mean, that's how
they're going to keep abusing this.
From like full health to half health within that illusion
that's Shadow Demon plus Luna, man. It's really good. All the creeps are dying. The heroes are dying. They can't really react to this because they're just illusions. Even Manta from Jug. Look how abusive this is. They've got the AoE, but it's costing them so much more than it's costing Kaipi.
Escape are forced into essentially going from a wraparound gank and trying to find something.
They are splitting though. Era's getting some good damage on the tower. This is good for them.
Dire's structures are
And
fortified.
they have to force something soon here for bo5 to walk up. Arrow will hit onto Pylai Die. He's now going to get jumped on by Limp, but the mech saves his life for now. Kanzu gets a great
what a
call.
call.
They're going to lose 2. They're going to lose 3. Beautifully done. Still, is it going to be enough? 5 that comes down from the Shadow Demon. Cinderin now looking to try to get bo5. He has Agents, and he's got Satanic. Meanwhile, he did get the kill on Cinderin, so no more Fiend's Grip, but he will lose his first life. And meanwhile, Era gets the tier 3 tower. The buyback stopping any further aggression. Meanwhile, bo5 as well as 3-3 are still there. The call, Kezu is going to give up his life, but maybe Torrent. 3-3 is low, and he will fall. The Tidebringer, the damage. Limp has to leap away. And bo5 doing
close.
some right click. They need to get this kill. The X marks is there. They've got the Torrent. There's the arrow. It won't be in time. That would have been a great combination, a beautiful combination, but it wasn't there. But they do get the range racks top. Somehow Escape are holding on to this game, Purge. I don't know how,
Yeah.
but it's happening.
It all came down to that one arrow on the Shadow Demon. If that was on anybody else, he could disrupt that person or keep him alive in some way. But the fact that it was SD, and then they grouped around it, they said, I want to help defend against this follow-up, but they all got too close, and it led to Luna getting called in there, and Tide getting called, and then all of a sudden Axe is just doing insane damage output, followed up with a boat combo, and that is exactly what opened things up for Escape. It was a great arrow with bad positioning from Kaipi. Once Axe blinks in with BKB, they can't stop it. There's nothing they can, except for maybe Anchor Smash on Axe, but that's about it. That's not enough. Can't get caught. Pilot Eye cannot get caught. Like, it just changes too much.
What a back and forth game this is, honestly. A lot like the first game, too. Well, the middle stages of the first game. Really
Yeah,
great
and
series so far. I think you
it really
probably
is.
agree with me.
It's been an amazing game so far. It really. Lincoln's on Mirana is the big thing. He can stop he can stop Burrow Strike with that. That's pretty huge. I think what else is big? Troll Warlord has BKB SNY. He's still very behind in terms of items though. It's 31 minutes. Usually you'd be aiming towards the Scotty about here, but that's likely. It's really a big problem with Troll. You have a lot of trouble getting kills, staying ahead, continuing to scale unless your team has good team fights, and they haven't really completely. He's 1-4-9 at the moment. More items, I'm sure.
And he gets there by team fighting, farming. How good is Troll at farming?
It's
I mean, in comparison
okay.
to Luna, so...
I mean, considering the fact that he's actually ahead of Sing Sing in farm is really good.
Yes.
Sing is sitting at 6-2 and 7, much better team fight performance, but he's been pushing with his team a lot more. Whereas Era's pretty much just been AFK farming jungle camps in all of these slow push downtimes. Put that on top of the fact that he didn't go Battle Fury first, and that's naturally why Sing is behind. But it's not necessarily a bad thing that he is behind, nor that he went Manta. Because there were some really good things that he did with Manta in the early game. I think they were expecting to be able to grab Arax though, or at least the tower. Once the tower's dead, it becomes much easier for you to actually finish off the racks. Because as soon as the tower dies, the glaives bounce all over the place. They just didn't quite get to that in time, and the arrow kind of changed everything. Not to mention Era's split pushing. So. Kaipi not really expecting to be in this position, but either way, bo5 still doing very well. By far the highest net worth. And his next item will be a damage item. Quite possibly something like Butterfly.
Yeah, Butterfly Satanic, along with all your other items, is when you start getting dangerous as a Luna. And you start dishing out that insane damage, so...
And Troll is, well, he could maybe buy MKD next, but it's a little dangerous for him. Especially dealing with somebody like bo5 that has Satanic.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Kinda iffy.
Well, we'll see where it goes.
We'll grab Arrow if Arrow comes to BKB. He doesn't.
He does not. He gets disrupted. That will give him time to BKB coming out of it. He's not going to BKB yet. The Omni Slash coming through, and it's actually just going to be interrupted by the Moonlight Shadow. But did they pick up the App Store, or did he TP home?
No, he just TP'd right away, and they didn't get him. They didn't have Burrow Strike up. A little surprised. And they could have Ravaged for it, but for support, it's not worth it, especially when you're doing the sieging style. And Kaipi instead is going to go for top lane. This is going to force Escape to split push bottom, which is obviously going to take a lot longer than it would have if they just went top lane to get a melee Rex. Oh, nice Helm of the Dominator play. Look at this. He's pulling the creep wave back up. He's not even killing it. He's just pulling it around in circles. It's just a delay.
Now
Super sick play from Era.
Yeah, that was nice.
They just don't want to give Kaipi the opportunity to start this slow siege bullshit that you can do with Zinc.
Ooh, can he get... I was going to say if he could get another... what should we call it off? Thunder Shock off. That'd be huge. Thunderclap. And they do get the kill bottom. They get the kill on the Sand King on Sexy Bambo in the bottom lane, so...
Yeah.
But on the
just
other
playing
side,
this so well.
ooh, Diffuser Blade on Era. He has to pop his BKB here, it looks like. Although he's doing a lot of damage to Sing Sing, he's just manning up on him. But there's Roar heroes coming in. BKB will go. They have no Basher. That BKB is the 8-second charge. It's getting lower and lower.
Yeah,
but
not
now
bad.
Limp gets the kill on the tower down bottom. The Mirana finish off the tier 2 tower in that bottom lane.
They're just playing it very well, constantly split pushing top as soon as Kaipi gets prepped for bottom. They won a very good team fight, which kind of saved their game in a lot of ways, and then they're constantly pushing other lanes, which forces Sand King to go back. He ends up getting caught because Escape rotated the axe over in anticipation of that. Then, Era does lose his BKB charge, but as a whole, they're doing a great job pressuring. They just need to make sure that Kaipi doesn't have the opportunities to get close to the racks and to slowly siege it with illusions. If that's what happens, they will win this game. But Escape is doing the things they need to do to prevent them from even getting into that situation.
Limp has picked up a level 2 Dagon, flying out now as we speak. So they have more burst damage to work with to take down somebody that's a bit tankier without BKB.
Interesting he didn't go E-Blade, but considering the BKB potential for his opponents, I don't think it's terrible. E-Blade's also not the best against somebody like Tidehunter. He will just crack and shell off the E-Blade, and then you'd be better off having a Dagon usually. Although, having a Ghost Scepter built into the E-Blade might be nice in case he gets Omni Slash, but we'll see.
Ghost Ship just for farming for Mr. Kunka.
Pushing, of course.
Is that an Orchid?
Cool.
Orchid
Yeah, it
coming
looks
out
like
from
he's
the App
building an
Store.
Orchid, yeah.
Against the SD or...
Pretty much everybody, I mean.
Joe
Luna
can mance
didn't-
it off.
Luna
although
chose not to buy a BKB, is the important thing, so.
Tidehunter can crack and shell it, I believe, and then you have the
Yeah.
Sand King who can use it. Yeah, I guess it has to be against the SD and the Luna, except he has
I mean,
Manta style as well.
Yeah, I guess I kind of agree. There's a lot of solutions on every team. Jug as well, he's got Diffusal. He could Diffusal the silence off somebody else,
Yep.
for example.
Yep.
There are a lot of solutions, but who knows, maybe it'll be useful. In some of those long drawn out team fights, for example, if Manta's already been used, if you can Orchid Luna afterwards, make a difference, especially if he doesn't get off.
I mean, if they decide to use their Mantis to push the high ground, he can go in and he could just try to go for the Orchid earlier on.
Yeah, I think the idea is initiate fights. Somebody gets disrupted, you Orchid them as soon as they come out. If they don't have BKB, or if they already used Manta, and then you don't get an Eclipse, that could win them a team fight easily. Eclipse has really been the game changer consistently throughout this game. It always looks like Kaipi is losing. Eclipse comes out, does a huge amount of damage. It's just based on the heroes. If Escape had a Beastmaster or something, it'd be completely different. You'd be eating that up with Necros and Hawks and Boars and things, and it wouldn't be a big deal. But quite good this game.
No summons coming up for Escape Gaming in this game, so that's something that they have to deal with. There's a crash. The Yapster will be back into the game momentarily, we hope. And it looks like he is, so ready to go in just a moment. This is shaping up to be a long series, I think, Purge, unless somehow
I'm totally
Escape take
down.
the series.
Game has been really interesting. Maybe some of that time period in game one seemed boring, but there's so many smart things that both teams were doing that made it actually interesting.
Don't get me wrong, I'm excited for this 5-game series. I'm just hoping that it gets to that 5-game series to begin with. A 3-game series, I'm sure that's what the teams want, but that's not what we want. I don't.
No, dude.
believe.
Come on, dude. If the game's ended right now, SD. Okay, he's absolutely. Oh, great call follow.
And good neck. Ravage, but he's still dead anyways. But the Omni Slash Kezu will at least lose his life for this. So it's a support for Core at this point. Sing Sing will just go ahead and Blade Fury as the X is gone. That's the counter, really. Now top lane Arrow.
So nice.
Is he going to go on Bone 7? He has Satanic. I don't think this is the best fight. And Bone 7 just backs away, however, interestingly.
Eric can beat him 1v1 until there's a Butterfly on the Luna. So it's pretty safe for him to do this. Fly's now up, so he wouldn't have enough hit accuracy to probably beat him in 1v1. Got Manta in case he gets blinded, so he should be able to be more survivable now. But I like the Blink Dagger pickup on Troll. It kind of solves a lot of the problems. The hero really does need massive amounts of mobility. He's got a gap close instantly. The stacks up,
Radiant's bottom tower.
more chances of bashing, things like that.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I'll take down this group wave down bottom is getting pushed in. How do you feel about team being aggressive, smoking, trying to find something? I mean, Roche is, I can't believe it's not up yet. It's almost max duration at this point, but Who's gonna make the most? Who's gonna make the aggressive play here next? Is it gonna be Kaipi or Escape?
Most likely Escape. I feel like Kaipi feels like they can control the map enough to just take Roche without a fight. Escape is gonna have to fight into Roche most likely. That's why picks are so big right now, and that's why Syndren's moved to the top lane. If Luna shows up again, they just grip him and he dies.
That is very true.
No wards there either. They've got some good wards. This ward placement is good because it's in a spot. Escape moving to that offlane position. First place, and that may be why Kaipi is not here right now. Maybe they saw Syndren walk through that ward.
Is there any gems? No gems this game at all, whatsoever. I guess Evasion has not been a big enough factor for either teams to warrant a gem this game. And here we go. It's Roche time. The Dire team will grab Roshan and try to get this into a third game tied 1-1.
Like, gonna grab the Aegis. Probably Luna. She's so tanky though. Sing Sing's also very difficult to kill, so maybe it's worth it. Probably is, because if she just gets bursted at the start of the fight before using Aegis, it's game losing. And they did have a cheese that was third Roche, so this is pretty safe to do. Cheese there for Sing. He's difficult to kill. I'd like to see him grab another survivability item or go MKB. He's gonna maybe need MKB because of the troll. Chief troll build something like Butterfly. But he could also go Scotty, put his HP up towards 2500. He's playing really well this game. Well, they find Arrow actually.
Has been found by Bo5.
So
He's got
fast,
Butterfly Flutter if he wants to chase him down, but the arrow will come through, and well, there is that Blink Taker for the troll, so.
There's like no way he'd get that kill.
Keep that, he should be creep.
So how come the creeps get more HP when you use Helm of the Dominator? Does it like make them magical or something?
I think so. Maybe, well...
Another time Slack should be here instead of you, Mott. But one time I feel like talking about lore.
I almost... Listen, I'm willing to put up a bet that Slax doesn't know anything about Helm of the Dominator. Like, he doesn't know the lore behind it.
Says it's a powerful headpiece of a dead necromancer. Sounds like magic to me.
Alright, I guess it's magic. So I guess you found it out.
I guess I could do the research.
But there's like no specifics to that. Like, what kind of magic is it? How does it give it extra like HP?
It's a good point, dude. I need to know the words that he has to chant to make it work. Oh, they smoked right under ward here.
It's a little too in depth. I'm not gonna go that far.
A little bit of harass here from the illusions. They're doing a nice job split pushing. It's a lot safer if they use a Manto illusion, and then Pilot Eye disrupts that illusion to spawn more illusions.
It's illusion after illusion. Here's the smoke though from Tide from Pilot Eye. We're kind of waiting.
Yeah. And Era continuing to split push, same principles as before. Another thing that helps with the Blink Dagger so much. It's so much easier to blink into trees and hide. Ooh, bro, Sanking's gotta get out.
Limp is looking for something. Arrow. That would have been dirty, but it looks like Pilot Eye knew, as there was a ward over there. Meanwhile, Sexy Bambo and Kazu playing footsies. They're not going to find each other. And Sing Sing, no blink for him, but everyone's kind of in the same area if they want to look to fight. And in fact, it's looking for Era. So it catches up on him.
I know, there's no ward up here, they don't know. Find something. Yeah, there's going to be, I think he's, maybe, oh, he is. And, Scotty. Makes complete sense. Not a weird build in any way. This game's a little, does this look like a 6.86 or whatever the heck, 6.83? This is 6.83, dude.
Yep.
Jug versus Troll Warlord. We're back in time. Here. You know, curiously, I actually really like picking Shadow Demon and Solo Q during those arrows, because ST is actually very good against the two heroes. He can make, he can solo kill him and stuff with Ags. Or even just Disruption, Soul Catcher, Monarch Purge, he's very good at killing him.
It's been...
Okay, he goes Yules. Interesting. I wasn't sure what item he would pick up. Yules is a good idea, though. That way, if he uses Disruption, he can, like, Yules an axe that's calling somebody with Blade Mail, or he can Yules himself if he gets X'd.
Is this going to be the Rax, though? This looks like a push. If
really
Escape can hold here, it's going to be pretty miraculous. You can maybe turn it around, but they've got Limp. They're going to have to use it soon here. Limp is going to get destroyed.
Oh, he's just dead.
He just gets destroyed by the Glaives. And that Burrow Strike Ghost Ship will hit onto Bone 7, but remember, he's Aegis and Satanic. The App Storm might be next. Good call into 2. He pops up the BKB as well as the play bail. They've got Ravage ready to go. Ezu getting chopped down. Ravage will find Lift. Lift gets owned again. The dieback coming out, and Kaipi looking to end this game and tie it up at 1 apiece.
Look, the
and it looks more than likely. Look at this damage. They've killed everyone over and over. And Yapzor will be maybe the final to fall. Sends in the well, but I don't think you're going to dive it. Epicenter for, I guess, just a celebration at the end of the game coming out from Bambo. And what a game from Kaipi. Solid stuff. Really well played, all things considered, Purge.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of that they messed up in any major way was Pilot Eye getting arrowed in that one fight, losing 3 heroes and getting range barracks. But Escape played an amazing game considering the position they were in, but Kaipi from the start of that game all the way into the end, with the exception of that one fight, they had a firm commanding control over this game. It was really well done.
Yeah, some good stuff coming out from Kaipi.